Hello, everybody. I'm Kathryn from the Sewing Studio Fabric Superstore and the Sewing Studio at Lady Lake. Good morning and welcome. Okay, so for today's 5-Minute Friday, I just wanted to talk about flying geese for a second. First of all, I love them. I've always loved flying geese. And a little bit of history behind flying geese. The particular quilt block that is called flying geese is called a patchwork quilt block because you're patching it together. And the thing about the flying geese is that it's a traditional quilt block that was actually used during the Underground Railroad to guide slaves to freedom. So it's a pretty cool block when you think about it all in all. It's got an uplifting message to it. And I've always wanted to do something with it. And I found this pattern called the Piper Tote Bag. It is from So Many Creations, and it has this wonderful inset down the center of the bag. And I thought, I wonder if I could do that with flying geese. So I did. So today we're going to just talk about how to make a little flying geese block and how we put it together. And then you can put it in whatever you'd like, whether you use vinyl or whether you use cottons. It's up to you. All right. Thanks, everybody. So here we get started. Typically, a flying geese pattern starts with a base block that is twice as long as it is tall. So you've got a 4.5-inch block and it's 2.5 inches tall. Then you have little squares that form the geese on either side to help point the way. And these little squares are 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, so again, if you just want to see it, you've got your block that's 4.5 by 2.5 and your square, which is 2.5 by 2.5. And what you do is you start by taking your square and placing it on one side of your block. And all you have to do is sew from point to point. Once you've done that, you're going to just trim it off at 1/4 of an inch. Once you've done that, all you have to do is fold that back. And I like to top stitch this down only because with vinyls, you really want to hold them down and hold them in place and tame them. So here's my little top stitched piece. Okay, time for the second corner. So with the second corner, again, you just lay it down right sides together and you're going to sew from point to point. All right, once you've done that, same thing as the first time, you're going to go ahead and trim off that excess right there. Then all you have to do is fold that back and top stitch it. So on the back of it, as you can see, you've got your main triangle and your two squares. And then on the front, you've got your main triangle and your two squares. And so that's pretty much it. What we did was Brenda actually helped me do this. She's one of my staff members up in the Villages. She helped me put this together with our vinyls. So this particular vinyl, this real shiny vinyl, was a little bit tricky to sew. So just a hint with that, if you've got a Teflon foot, that's going to make this a lot easier. But all of the rest of the vinyls were super simple with just your regular foot. And this pattern is cool in that you've got an over the shoulder or you've got handles if you want handles. And there are, when you look inside, there's a ton of pockets all built on the inside of the bag. So you can store all your cell phones, your chapstick, your wallet, all that kind of stuff. And that's it. So there you have it, your flying geese that we've just turned into this beautiful tote bag done with vinyl. So I hope that you enjoyed today's little 5-Minute Friday. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked us, that's great. You can also visit us on YouTube. You can come in and visit us in our stores, or you can see us online at www.sewing.net. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.